Hey everyone, Clarky's Shy here. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm back, and today we are on Zombies Replay episode 16. This is the series where I bring on a Zombies YouTuber every map, and we basically talk about what we like about the map and just basically a whole entire review. The last episode was on Diarize with Fat Matt, and I know it's been a long time compared to the 13th episode and the 14th episode. It was a long wait, but I'm actually starting to get the videos out now. And in this episode, we are doing Mob of the Dead with GregFPS. Greg, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Greg, the Zombies Extraordinaire, some people like to call me. And I've been basically Mob of the Dead's biggest fan for a while now, so I'm happy to be on this week's episode, man.
So I thought I'd bring on Greg because this man speedruns Mob of the Dead like no man tomorrow. I thought I'd bring on Greg as it was appropriate for him to bring him on. So thank you so much for coming on, Greg. Just to explain the series for anyone who's just starting, I'm basically going to be asking the YouTuber or content creator questions, and every time they've answered it, I will give my own take on the question. And as the series goes on, there'll be new questions added, and if there's a question that's like they can't answer or they just don't know what to say, they just simply say pass. But this is Mob of the Dead. I'm going to start up the match, and while playing, Greg, you can go on for as long as you want with these questions, and that's basically it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, let's go. So I'm just starting up the match just because, again, I'm not one for getting pre-gameplay footage. I'm an idiot for that. The first question I have for you, Greg, is your first personal experience when playing Mob of the Dead. How did you feel when playing Mob of the Dead for the first time?
Okay, so this was the first map I ever woke up early to play. And I remember it vividly because I was so excited after watching the trailer for it. I thought it was such a cool location. So when I first loaded it up, I didn't really know what was going on, but I remember I was able to build the plane somehow with my first try. I figured it all out, and I was just blown away at how cool it was to, fly away from the map, because that was the first time that we'd ever really gone to a new location like that. And like just the whole atmosphere of the map was like kind of scary, and I just loved the vibe of it overall. Um so yeah, I just remember enjoying the hell out of the map, and I thought the wonder weapon was amazing and really cool. And yeah, I honestly, like, if I could replay a map, it would be Mob of the Dead, for the first time.
Literally took the words out of my mouth. The vibe of the map when playing it for the first time is really not, well, you can say deep because it's literally hell. It's got fire everywhere. It's got hanging bodies, torn bits of paper everywhere. Everything's just in ruins. The vibe of Mob of the Dead was really nice. It brought in a nice setting theme for what this map has, and it was a cool location, Alcatraz, and it's cool how you can fly over to another location, which is the Golden Gate Bridge. So honestly, they really did some good stuff, and playing this map for the first time, I got goosebumps. Like, again, if you're playing this map for the first time and it's like, just, you don't know what you're doing, it can be kind of scary. Like, you've got demon dogs on the walls and everything, and it's just, Mob of the Dead, as it's set in tone, it's hell, you can say. It's legit hell. Satan might be here for all we know, but apart from that, Mob of the Dead was just a really cool built map for its setting and theme. And first time playing it, again, I had goosebumps, and there's really nothing I can say. But Mob of the Dead, first time playing it, I'd go back in time to play it for the first time again if I had to. So for the next question I have for you, Greg, is the things that you don't necessarily like about Mob. Like, if there's like a tiny thing that you don't like about Mob of the Dead, what would it be?
Okay, I think the biggest thing that I don't like about Mob is there's no shared inventory. I feel like if there was a shared inventory, then it would make the process of like flying the plane co-op a lot easier. So like, for example, like if I was doing a speed run and I had all the parts on, but the person at the docks wasn't like ready, or they had to wait or something to get points or something, like I could just put the part on and fly right away, and save time that way. Like things like that. Obviously, like shared inventory has really helped zombies overall. We saw that a lot in Black Ops 3 on like Shadows of Evil. You could get all the gate worms, or various things like that really help the game, I think, and help the flow. Another thing would probably be the flow of Mob of the Dead. I feel like the map really is not like kind of circular, whereas like other maps you kind of are going around in a circle. Um, Mob of the Dead kind of just like you go down and then go back up, and there's no real like flow to it. But I just like the map design overall because it switches things up a little bit. But other than that, like I really can't complain that much. I really enjoy the map a lot.
Yeah, I can agree with your point about not being so circular, because just the way Alcatraz is and stuff, I agree with the whole point about not being so circular and stuff. Things I don't necessarily like about Mob of the Dead, and it comes to maps like these where it's difficult for me to choose, like, again, like you said, shared inventory and stuff, shared inventory can definitely be helpful. And for stuffs like Mob of the Dead, if you wanted to hop in a quick game, maybe get into Pack-a-Punch and stuff really quickly, shared inventory would definitely help a lot with that. And honestly, shared inventory is like been one of the most helpful things ever in zombies when it came to stuff in Black Ops 3, like in Shadows of Evil, like you said. But if anything, I really have nothing to say, because again, most of the points I was going to say, Greg, you literally took it right out of my mouth, man. But there's really nothing much to say for Mob, because honestly, I like the story, I like how it plays out, and again, the whole shared inventory thing can be annoying, but for someone who has just mainly played solo over the course of BO2's life cycle, I never really had that problem, and I still do till this day play solo mainly on like stuff like Black Ops 2 and stuff, so I don't really find that stuff annoying, but if I was to, it can be annoying. I don't know, but apart from that, I really don't have any problems with Mob of the Dead when I think about it, but yeah, those are the things that we don't necessarily like about Mob of the Dead. So for the next question I have for you, Greg, is the things that you would add, which is basically keep the map the same, but maybe add in some new locations or some mini Easter eggs, or change the map where you're changing the map completely, changing where this might be or that, or changing some locations with each other, or possibly both.
Okay. There's not really that much to add, I would say. I remember there was supposed to be a Richthofen head on the map that was gonna act kind of like the Skull of Non-Stopway or something like that from Zetsuga no Shima. So that was like something that ended up getting cut. I remember that was also going to be like used in cell block grief instead of meat or something possible. But it was just like Richthofen's head, which I thought was interesting. It would have been cool to see if there was like a lab or something, like a small section of it. But I feel like that was just retcon added in for Blood of the Dead rather, or like when they made the timeline itself. So I don't really feel like they were planning on doing that at all before that. There really isn't that much to add. Like I feel like the map is perfect the way it is. I definitely do not like the new sections that they added in Blood of the Dead because I feel like it's kind of useless in a way, and like going across the catwalk was kind of annoying and all that stuff. There definitely could have been more side Easter eggs that are really cool. Like the golden spork was awesome. You can upgrade the tomahawk, like that sort of stuff. I can't really think of like any more upgrades really that they could have done, or like side Easter eggs that they could have added after the fact. But I mean, I don't know, just the map flow is really cool, and I really liked it.
I can understand that. The whole Richthofen head thing, when I was like discovered and stuff, I thought that was cool as. All the way though, if there was something to like change, like Richthofen's laboratory for example, that was a huge thing. Where it was placed in Blood of the Dead, I thought it was cool that it was a thing, don't get me wrong, but where it was placed was really like not a problem to me, but the fact that like it wasn't needed to be placed in that certain location.
Yeah, it would have been way cooler if it was like, yeah, in the cafeteria, like in a custom map, that's where it was, like under the cafeteria or whatever. They could have had it in like different locations, like a door like at the docks maybe, or something was like connected to it, or somewhere else. I think would have been better than going to a whole another part of the island that you never go to after you do the Easter egg. There's like 2 steps there, or 1 step that's like pretty quick, and you basically never have to go back at all.
Yeah, definitely. Like Greg said, there was a BO3 custom zombies map when the whole Mob of the Dead remaster was being such a hot topic at the time. Again, right here, someone made Richtofen's laboratory down there, and it was definitely really cool, and it definitely looks like a playable area that you could go down there, and I think it's still there in Blood of the Dead. It just looks a bit different, because in this there's stairs. I don't know if there's stairs in Blood. I think it's just a completely empty room, and heck, the whole secret room stuff in Black Ops 4 would have been cool, and maybe that could have been an area instead of the stuff that's up in Infirmary. But all in all, just Richtofen's laboratory being placed there would have been cool. Or maybe just not even Richtofen's laboratory. The fact that you could go down there and maybe see something that's really tied in with the storyline would have been really cool. So honestly, Richtofen said in the area and cafeteria, that's what I'd add to the map personally. So for the next question, and you're going to go on about this here, the things that you like about the map, what you really like about the map.
There's a lot of things to go off of.
I'm ready for a 5-hour video here, Greg. Let's go.
I mean, like, the uniqueness of the map really is what I like about it so much. You have, weapons from the time period. You have the Uzi. You have the M1927 getting introduced. So just that, and then you also have the AK-47, the Death Machine in the box itself, which is really cool. You can get the Wonder Weapon from the box, or you can get it for free by doing a small, easy quest, which is really, really nice. We saw that a lot in BO3, and that was just really nice to see. There's multiple Easter egg songs. Rusty Cage is like an absolute banger of a song, especially pertaining to prison. And then obviously Where Are We Going is another great song. One of the best ones that we've ever had in Zombies. The characters really made the map awesome because they were all mobsters from that whole time period, which I really, really like, the time period and setting. And not only that, they were all actual like actors who played in some of the most popular mobster era type movies and things like that, which is really, really cool. So I had already watched a lot of the movies that they were in, so I felt like I could more relate to those characters in a way, not so much like doing crime and all that, but I knew them or recognized them for doing that type of stuff, which was really cool. And all the characters are just such badasses. Like, they have awesome quotes, especially like Billy Handsome and stuff. They're swearing like crazy, and that makes the map a little bit more enjoyable for me, I think. Just like the Easter egg is really simple and easy. I would have liked to see more steps, probably. I should have mentioned that in the other thing. But the Easter egg's not like hard or anything. It's just more of like a fun type thing. And the Wonder Weapon's really fun to use. I love the vitriolic withering rather. The zombies are attracted to it. Maybe if it was stronger, it would have been a little bit better. The Hell's Redeemer upgrade is really cool. How it's blue, you can charge it 3 times instead of 2, and it deals more damage basically infinitely. I really could pretty much go on and on about how I like the map so much. There's just so much content I feel like the map had, and I feel like that's something that really lacks nowadays with zombies. Like on Mob of the Dead, you could replay it so many times and do everything so much differently, I feel like. Whereas now everything's just so linear. Like, you have to do this, you have to do that in order to do this. Whereas Mob of the Dead, like, you could do anything in any order. It didn't really matter, which was cool. And I just love the map, dude. I don't really know what else to add to that. It's hard.
No, man, that's fine. Honestly, taking the words right out of my mouth again, the uniqueness of the map is definitely amazing. And I like that about a map, how it's all unique. And hey, I'm not one for complaining like there's like reused content or there's some certain locations coming back from a map. Whatever's fine with me, I don't really mind that stuff. But when there is a unique map, that gets me going, because Alcatraz, Mob of the Dead, the characters were definitely cool. One of my favourites being Sal and like Billy and stuff, they were really cool as, and like the whole storyline with like Weasel being like the big bitch of them all. Honestly, it was really cool with what they did with Mob. And I can honestly see why a lot of people like that. Like the soundtrack, like Where Are We Going and stuff, all that stuff was really cool, packed within Mob of the Dead. And again, these are celebrity cast, and I love maps, like, well, maybe not a lot, but like stuff like Call of the Dead 5, like they have some characters that were like real life people, like JFK Kennedy, the people in Call of the Dead, Mob of the Dead, like all this stuff, like celebrity cast, like that shit's cool to me, and I genuinely like that, how they can get these cool, amazing people that a lot of people look up to in their daily lives as celebrities, and just being in video games is just really awesome to me. So that was one thing I really liked about Mob. The Easter egg, like you said, it is simple and stuff. I really do like simple eggs, and I'm not saying I'm garbage. I can do Mephistopheles, don't anyone diss me. But I like hard and simple Easter eggs. I just like Easter eggs as a whole. But honestly, it just, Mob of the Dead just gets you going. It makes you feel like you're actually there. Well, at least that's how I feel when I'm playing it. I feel like I'm on a big adventure to get out of this hellhole that we're in, that is Alcatraz. So honestly, the uniqueness within Mob of the Dead is there. I agree with all the points you said, Greg, and yeah, those are the things that we like about Mob of the Dead. So the next question I have for you, Greg, is the wonder weapon of this map, and you can go for both of them here, which is basically the normal Blundergat and the Acid Gat here. So you can go for both of them here.
Okay, so one really cool thing about Mob of the Dead is you can have both versions of the Blundergat, and so you can have one of them be the Acid Gat or the Vitriolic Withering, and you can also have the Sweeper, which is like just the straight up pack-a-punched Blundergat. So that's really nice, because who doesn't love using wonder weapons the whole time you play zombies? That's kind of like the point, I feel like, in a way. So those are just really, really cool. And the fact that the zombies are attracted to the Acid Gat and upgraded, it's really, really cool. And the one thing that I don't really like about it is the fact that when you shoot it, all the like sacks of acid or whatever, they just go like in a random direction. Like I feel like if I shoot at the ground, they're still gonna go in like super far away and like not even where I'm shooting, which is definitely one of those problems that I would see. But like other than that, man, like the Sweeper can one shot Brutus like on any round basically, which is insane. The DSR can also do that, but that's really nice. I mean, yeah, it's a cool concept. The fact that like they introduced electric cherry on the map, and after you basically shoot it once, you reload and get that maximum of damage with electric cherry, is really, really good in tandem with the the GAT. So I think the weapons are really, really cool personally, and the design of them are just so sick. Like you have the wolf on the back, when it's pack a punch and everything. It just looks really, really cool. And that green acid color also lends a hand to the design. It just looks badass.
I can agree with this. The wonder weapons on this are really amazing. I sometimes think the normal Blundergat and the Sweeper is really underrated sometimes, because most people I see don't use them. They normally go for the Acid Gat, seeing as it's really helpful because zombies are attracted to it like a mini monkey bomb. But heck, that shit can like do damage to zombies, and heck, it can one-shot Bruce along with many other weapons. But to me, when I use it against Bruce, it just feels really, really satisfying to me. I don't know why, but every time I use him, Blood of the Dead, Mob of the Dead, one of the two, it feels really satisfying and good to me when I use the Sweeper. And the Acid Gat too is definitely really good. Sure, like if you're trapped in the corner and you're using it, and like you'll take damage from it if you're close to the bullets, you can die, sure. But honestly, I really like the Acid Gat and the Blundergat for what they are. I definitely think they're really cool, unique weapons. It's a shotgun, then it can turn into like just a mini shoddy bullets, shoot out many bullets of acid, and just attracts many zombies. And this is why I wish for Blood of the Dead. Like, sure, I'm glad they brought in another upgrade, the Mamagat, which is cool as. But holy, I just wish there was like maybe more. But when I think about other upgrades coming to the game, I'm like, I can't really think of any ideas on how they would work, unless it's just me being stupidly dumb. I can't really think of any other ideas, because honestly I think the Acid Gat and the Blundergat, and heck even the Mamagat, are as good as it is, to the point where we don't even need another upgrade. And I honestly think that might be one of the reasons why Treyarch only added in one upgrade to Blood of the Dead for the Blundergat and stuff, because the other two weapons were as good as it is. And sure, the Acid Gat might not be the super best in Black Ops 4 unless you have PhD and stuff, but still, as it stands, they are really good weapons, and maybe that's why they thought, oh, we really don't need to add in another variant of it because they're good as they are, so what's the point? The wonder weapons are really amazing, and honestly they suit this map really well. So honestly, wonder weapons are god amazing, and I love them for what they are in this map. So the next question, and I'm pretty sure again we did talk about this for a bit, is the Easter egg. What do you think about the Easter egg? And you can talk about both endings here, and you can go on for as long as you want with this question.
So obviously the Easter egg's really easy. Basically you got to build the plane, fly 3 times, then you have to get the like spoon from the cafeteria. After doing like the short steps, you have to get all the skulls and get the free blundergat. And after that, you just enter the cell numbers of all the characters. So it's really, really simple, but going on the plane at the end when you're in Afterlife to get to the bridge is just such a cool moment. The piano that plays is just one of my favorite things. Like, I use it as like my donation sound on stream and stuff. I just love that music. And also, like, the fact that you can 1v1 your friend or something if you're doing a 2-player is really cool. I always have had like such fun moments, playing with people and being like, I'm gonna kill you and they're gonna
Yeah,
kill
like the
me.
8-player Easter egg and stuff. I remember when that
Yeah,
was.
there was that. I played against like Kingman and Tim Hansen and stuff. Like, it's just really fun to play against people, especially at the end of the Easter egg. And it's really cool that it has 2 different endings. That was really the first time where we had 2 endings. Like, if you're Weasel and you kill the other characters, you break the cycle, or the cycle continues if you're the other characters and kill Weasel, which is cool. It's really nice, and I always like let my chat pick who's gonna win. Usually when I'm just playing casually, which is cool. So, I mean, I love that aspect of it. I think it's really unique that it kind of pits the characters or players against each other in a way at the end, which is nice to see. So, I think the Easter egg's really unique. It's kind of a shame that it was so short and didn't really have too many intricacies as far as steps go. But I mean, it was still unique. And to be honest, like, all the Easter eggs in Black Ops 2 were pretty simple looking back on it now. I think the only one that really was more challenging was pretty much Origins. Buried has its moments, but they were all fairly easy and short and simple, which I think like even Shang was probably way harder than like all the other maps except for Origins looking back on like those games. So they were really easy in Black Ops 2, almost as easy as Cold War. So it was
Well,
definitely an easy Easter egg.
when it comes to like stuff like this, like I honestly like do not mind these Easter eggs as long as I find them like cool and stuff. I could care less if they're like short or like easier and something. Personally, like you said, I definitely do find Mob of the Dead easy. And again, I said this on the many times we've talked about 4-player Easter egg. Wish it was goddamn solo, but yet again, it makes it more fun to do it with friends, and it makes more sense because you feel tied with these characters. They want to escape, but yet again, it's more to them just escaping. Like, they're escaping like their past traumas. They're escaping this place as it is. That seems to be the main objective. And of course, with escaping the cycle, they're on a constant loop 24/7, and it's straight up hell for all of them. And honestly, I really don't know what to say for the egg, because I really find it interesting and I really find it cool. And one of the coolest parts is that it does have 2 endings, and I just hope Cold War somehow does have 2 endings, and I feel like it has the potential to have 2 endings. Heck, even a super Easter egg, man, I think Cold War has the potential. But with Mob of the Dead, I definitely felt really tied in with these characters, with what they've been through, what they're going through at the moment, what they don't know what they actually have to do, instead of just relying on escaping and thinking they're going back to their old lives. Now, they're in more shit than they already think they are. And honestly, just going up, flying away, in the plane, thinking it's all over, you're in Afterlife, you're free. No, you're facing off against each other, and it's just even more hell. You're betraying friends, and you're fighting against each other, 3v1. It's all hell. And I genuinely like how this Easter egg played out, and I thought it was really cool with what they did. So this is an optional question, mainly. because I know most people are mainly gameplay and Easter egg people, but I know there's some storyline people out there. But if you really know a lot about the storyline here, Greg, what do you think about the storyline of this map?
So, I mean, the storyline's pretty self-contained, I feel like. As far as like maps go, like it's kind of its own section. But like it's cool that all the people were kind of, mobsters, and they got collected as, or they got captured, I guess, or taken to jail, and they ended up being in jail and all that. As far as like the story goes, like it's kind of not that crazy to think about now. Like obviously if you're talking about maps like Moon or something like that, like there's so much storyline content there. But to be honest, I feel like a lot of the Mob of the Dead story was kind of just they were atoning for their sins or whatever. And then like when the actual timeline came out and like Blood of the Dead and all that, it became way more important when we found out that Richtofen had the blood vials of two of the characters from the map. Like things started progressively getting more and more in depth as the storyline went. So we didn't really know much about the storyline when the map actually came out. It was kind of just one of those things that like gradually got more and more info, and then eventually like when Blood came out, we got like way more storyline info. So I feel like the story was kind of weak in a way, but the characters kind of made up for it. And that's something that I really miss right now. Like in Cold War is like I don't really have a connection to the characters at all because we can pick operators. Whereas like I felt like I was emotionally invested with like all the characters in other maps. So it was just cool. They were mobsters. They were doing some pretty messed up stuff, and it was kind of cool to see the background of all that.
Yeah, again, I said this when I was talking about the whole Easter egg. The characters' background to me was really cool, like what they've been through, how they ended up in prison and stuff. And when it came to how it was super important for the characters, when it came to the blood files and stuff, shit was really going down. So honestly, the storyline with Mob of the Dead really held something for me. And again, the characters really made up for it because, one, people mainly seemed to like him because it was people they knew, a celebrity cast, along with just how they got to prison, the whole mystery on why they are here and stuff, and what got them into this mess about them just being on a whole loop of a cycle and stuff. So honestly, the storyline for me on Mob of the Dead, and I can understand why you're saying it's kind of like weak and stuff, but I don't know, personally, to me, just, again, I felt connected to these characters on like what they've been through, why they're here, their regrets, their hate, everything. And I can genuinely see what makes Mob of the Dead so special when it comes to the storyline, along with Blood of the Dead. And I know this isn't Blood of the Dead time, we'll get to that soon, but Blood of the Dead and Mob of the Dead are connected, again, because one, it's the same map, and two, there's a lot of storyline between the two when it comes to the blood files, and just the many shit that goes on with Richtofen, and heck, even the Victus characters in the comments, they're all connected to Mob of the Dead in the comics, and honestly, it blows my mind how there is still a lot of mysteries within maps, and heck, even Mob of the Dead, it still surprises me how people can still find shit. And I know this was like a while ago now, but like how people found an easier way how to do the Morse code within Blood of the Dead and stuff like shit. Still surprised me. Like even if it's not about the storyline, like it still surprised me how like a map like Mob and Blood are still finding stuff till this day. And I like that about the maps because I do like the storyline within them. And heck, I know the Easter eggs are important within it because, well, Easter eggs are important within any map that's got to do with storyline and stuff, but hey, the storyline within Mob of the Dead, personally, I think is beyond amazing in my opinion. This is the second last question, and even though this has already happened, if this was to happen again, just say the words. Would you be okay, Greg, if the map we're playing, Mob of the Dead, came back as a remaster? It's the same characters, same everything, better graphics, and maybe just the tiny bit of changes, and that's basically it. Or a remake like it was in Blood of the Dead, where they don't do the same exact thing as they did in Blood of the Dead. Maybe change a tiny bit of things, maybe make a remake, but not as a remake as it was in Blood. Just change things completely how they could have made Mob better, get rid of the changes, and maybe add in new bits where people would love instead of the catwalk and stuff. Or possibly both.
I want a one-to-one remaster because Blood of the Dead absolutely sucks, and it took all the good stuff from Mob and made it worse. I've said this so many times how I dislike blood. Um, they really butchered the hell out of the map. Like, I was really, really excited for it, and then after I figured out the golden spork first, there was really no excitement after that for me. I was kind of just over it. The Easter egg sucks. You use the shield 27 times to do the Easter egg. Like, that's a little obnoxious.
Yeah.
Afterlife was just such a cool system, and it was, really, like, they used it with beast mode as well, which was really good. And then, once they take out the cool stuff and aspects, like, the map just doesn't feel the same. And that's why, like, a 1-to-1 remaster would be cool, but I honestly don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like all the maps that they remastered were worse, besides probably Alpha Omega, where they added, like, a lot more to the map. Like, Call of the Dead's really good because of George Romero. 5 is really good because of the Pentagon Thief. Like, Mob of the Dead's really good because you fly the plane to Alcatraz and you have the mobsters. Like, all those good things just get removed when they try to, change stuff, and it just doesn't feel the same. And, like, I make a lot of videos where I play, like, every zombies map, and I never once play the remakes and chronicles because the best maps are always the first version of it seems. So that's how I feel on that whole thing.
I'm gonna agree with the remaster. Personally, I don't mind if there was a remake. Whatever happens. I don't really mind. Yeah, honestly, to me personally, I don't really mind Blood, but I can understand its problems, definitely. But I am, again, going to have to go with the remaster. Not just because Blood of the Dead is a thing, but just because I would genuinely like to see a remaster. Because, again, before Blood of the Dead, and heck, the whole hype with Black Ops 4 and a Mob of the Dead remaster being a thing, just, I remember again, and we brought this up earlier, a BO3 custom Mob of the Dead remaster. Heck, for someone who can't play customs and who watched on streams and stuff, I thought that shit was really cool. I genuinely thought stuff like that was awesome. And I just wanted to see how Treyarch would top that off, because again, it's a custom map. This person doesn't even work for Treyarch. So I was like, if they're to make a remaster, same cast somehow, because again, keep in mind it's a celebrity cast. To get a celebrity cast, it's a lot of money is involved, and just it can bring a lot of problems. But if they somehow did bring a remaster, same characters, better graphics, and heck, maybe even a little changes, and bring in the Richtofen head and the little room that's in the cafeteria, dude, I would be beyond amazed with what they would do with that. So yeah, honestly, I'd have to go with the remaster over the remake for the Mob of the Dead, honestly. So the last question of the video today, Greg, is what would you rate Mob of the Dead out of 10 and a reason why?
It's a 9.5 out of 10. It's definitely an S tier, double S tier, whatever you want to say. It just has so much going for it that you really can't say it's a bad map, in my opinion. Anyone who dislikes the map probably didn't play when it came out, and I feel like you had to kind of play when it came out to get the real understanding of how great the map actually was for the time. And I feel like a lot of those maps are kind of like that, but like at the time, it was so innovative and so different and unique, and that's what made it special for me particularly, and a lot of other people. Pretty much everyone that likes Mob of the Dead played it when it came out, and they realized how cool and unique it was. So for me, just having all the unique weapons and weaponry and characters and atmosphere and just locale, everything about it was so cool, and that's why it's a 9.5 out of 10. I'm not gonna go out and say it's a 10 out of 10 map, but honestly, the only other map that comes close to rivaling it is probably Drak, which is also another like amazing double S tier map, and Shadows of Evil as well. So like it's really hard to beat a map like that, and I don't see any other map in the future beating it unless they bring back the Chaos Story, because like all those maps were pretty decent as well.
I'm not surprised they put a 9.5 out of 10, but for me, I don't know, man. I love Mob of the Dead Beyond. Before anyone hits on me in the comments, I love Mob Beyond amazing. Everything I've said, I've meant it. If I had to give Mob out of 10, Honestly, there's really no reason why, apart from the fact that the many reasons I gave on the other questions. It's an 8 out of 10. Honestly, I do like Mob. Just for me, there is other maps I do like more. And heck, that's probably because I've played those maps more, because I remember when I saw a map came out, I can't remember what it was. I played that map forever and ever, and I played it. And there was one map that a lot of people said were good. I didn't play it. I played it a lot and said it was good, but not as much compared to those others. And then I played that map a lot, and I said it was my favourite of all time. And honestly, that could be the same case for Mob of the Dead. It's definitely in my top 10, all the way, or possibly even top 5. But Mob of the Dead will definitely hold a special place in my heart, in many, and definitely Greg's. But honest to God, Mob of the Dead is a really special map. I like the uniqueness, love the setting, the characters, everything about it just is super cool to me. And that is the reason why me and Greg both rate a 9.5 out of 10 and an 8 out of 10. But yeah guys, that is the basically end of Zombies Replay episode 16. I know this one was like not as long as it took to get this one out compared to the Die Rise video, but at least we got it done at the end of the day. But Mob of the Dead, again with Greg, we said our sayings for Mob, and I'm honestly very happy with how it came out. So Greg, again, thank you for coming on, man. It was good to talk about Mob of the Dead, on what your view on it is, and it was really fun, man. It was really fun, so thank you for hopping on, Greg, man. Thank you for hopping on.
No, thanks for having me, dude. I'm always down to talk about Mob.
No problem, man. But anyways, guys, if you guys haven't already, do check out Greg in the description below, both his YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, and the many other social medias he does have in the description below. But anyways, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thanks so much for watching. The next video will be Buried, which I don't know when will be, but it probably won't take as long to make as it did with this one. So yeah. But anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video live stream, boys. And goodbye!